Hello, everyone. Today is the third day of the month of hiding here on Neopets, and that is certainly what I have been doing. So, just as an explanation for why I have been away, I have been working on a really huge video about all of part one or act one of the Void Within plot. So that is going to be a whole other video, but I just wanted to get something out very quickly about the Altador Cup. I have been seeing a ton of people join, and we've gotten a lot of newbies in my team specifically, but I think in general a lot of people are coming back to Neopets. They've never played the Altador Cup before, so I just wanted to do a little video, a couple tips and tricks, I guess. I am not super good at any of the games, but this is just how I play. So take that with a grain of salt. But for anybody who hasn't played before, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. So, to navigate, we've got this little button here. If you want to organically navigate to the Altador Cup, however, you go click Explore, you go to Altador. I think that should be a little obvious, but you never know. Some people might not realize that you can click on here. There's no spot on the map for it. I wish you could just click on the Colosseum or something next to the Colosseum and get there, but you got to click this little button, and there we are. Of course, I am Team Haunted Woods, and we are playing Lost Desert today. So I'm going to do yooyuball first because that is kind of the main game. The in-universe reason that the Altador Cup is happening is that game, but obviously all four of the Altador Cup games kind of go into your team's score. So let me just show you guys. I have zoomed in so it's easier for you guys to see, but it is going to be a little crunchy because I play on the small screen. It makes it easier for me to, use my mouse here. Okay, we'll take a second to view the instructions right now. Quite text heavy, but this is what matters here, okay? These are like a soccer ball. It's basically soccer or football. So here you've got your basic UUs. They will actually shoot in the direction that you kick them, no matter how hard you're kicking them, no matter no matter what other elements are going on, they will shoot straight where you aim. The fire ones, same deal. They will shoot straight. However, they're hot. So your little character will drop them periodically. It's only like 3 to 5 seconds that they can be held by one player. The snow is a little bit slower, so you have to take that into account. The fairy has a curve, so it won't go straight. The first three there will go straight. The fairy one will curve to either the left or right, depending on basically nothing. So you have to aim to where the curve isn't going to throw you off. I have a little trick to show you guys with that, but I will get into it once I'm actually playing. Then we've got the Darrigan. These are my worst enemy. I prefer the mutants if I'm going to have a difficult UU to deal with. These even says in the instructions that these misbehaving UUs fly off at unexpected angles. Be very careful when you're next to your own goal. So the only good thing about this is sometimes the other team will grab it, try to kick it to the other side, and then they'll kick it into their own goal because it'll go like backwards. Like these go crazy. If you haven't played before and you didn't read the instructions and you just get one of these, you're going to be like, what's happening? The mutants are kind of everything. So they will mimic the fire, the snow, the fairy, and the Darrigan you use. So sometimes you can get lucky and they'll just go straight. And interestingly enough, I have found, And again, I don't know if this is just anecdotal, um, but you guys can try it out. Let me know. If you hit them lightly, they are more likely to go straight. So you can't blast full power on these ones like you can with basically all of the other ones. And then the clockwork ones, these, they go straight, so that's not a problem, but they explode after a couple seconds. So if you don't get a goal super, super fast, then they explode on the field and you've just wasted a couple seconds of your time. And then we've got power ups. So, power ups, if you run over them, you get that power up. If one of your teammates runs over them, you get that power up. So sometimes on the field, things will just change randomly, and it'll be because one of the NPCs in your team have run over this power up, and now you have it. That throws me off a lot. There are some power ups that I hate to get, so I try to avoid them. And there are some that I try to save for when I have a difficult UU. So we got Speed Boost. That one's fine, but it does throw you off a little bit when you are, running around because obviously you're suddenly super fast. Goal expansion, always a good one to grab, especially if you have a difficult UU. And even if you have a fairy UU, it will help you with the method that I am going to try to show. Mystery power up, I hate these. They usually end up making you bigger, but it depends. You can become a total giant on the field and it actually gets really disorienting. You can't even see, it's like a visual thing. You can't even see who has the UU in their hands because the sprite has like covered it up. Awful. I try to avoid them when I can. Sometimes, very often, actually, my teammates will run over it. That's annoying, but it's fine. We can deal with it. And then freezing the opponents. This one is excellent. I love it. It is the best thing that you can get. If you have a difficult UU, if you just want to get a free score, and usually if I have like 10, 20 seconds left on the clock, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to use all of the ice. But I try to save them if I know I can make a goal easily with the UU type I have in my hands right now. And then as you can see here, this is your stats page or panel. It's on the side while you play this game. It tells you how many goals you have scored this year, which of your players have scored them. Uh, Everybody on my team is always kind of giggling about the fact that Zoe is always like a 50%, like he's getting almost all of the goals. Um, just based on where he lands in formation, you're almost always him first, so that's why it's balanced that way. I've played 82 times so far this year because that was the max. Well, actually, it wasn't the max. I didn't get to do the maximum yesterday, so I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. Not everybody plays all. Not everybody maxes out yooyuball. I just like to because for me it's the most fun, pleasant game to play, and it levels you up the fastest because it is the main game of the cup. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna start. I always go from the left. I do the middle formation. It doesn't really matter. It's just how you start. We got a normal UU. Sorry, I'm so used to just skipping through, and then I power all the way up and oop, didn't get the goal that time, and my guy let go of the ball that time. Okay, go. So, promise I'm better at this than usually. Oh, it's because I'm talking. This is rough. Um, but you want to power all the way up and hit this corner there. As you can see, that usually is able to get you away from the goalie. What was happening a bunch. Oh no, we got a dare again. Um, what was happening was I was just hitting this wall or accidentally passing it straight to the goalie. And as you guys can see, this one is it's being a wild card. It goes diagonally, it goes all sorts of ways. So not the greatest start. Some people when they get Darrigans this early in the game or they get them like twice in a row, they'll just refresh the page. They'll just start over because it's just frustrating to try to be getting this, especially with no power ups on the field. When there are power ups, which usually happens, a couple rounds later, it's a lot easier to like freeze everybody and then get the ball back. But when you have no relevant power ups, we've got a speed boost, but that's not going to help us. It's really, really rough. See, there I guessed that it was going to go in that direction, so I shot it in the side, but that time it went diagonal, so not always the way. Yeah, it's going diagonal on me a bunch, and then it went the opposite direction. So this game is probably going to be a bust. The reason I'm still trying to play is here. Let me just watch. Let's just see what everybody else does. Oh, we do have a larger goal here. Oh, and somebody grabbed the power up, the speed boost. So we have a little bit more of a chance. Come on. I'm just gonna let the other team do this and see if they get it into their. This is gonna be the whole game, guys. This one was a really rough one to start with, but honestly, it's kind of a good example. You're not always gonna have a good yooyuball game, and you gotta let it slide. Um, this one was just particularly rough. Um, oh, so I might replay that clip in slow mo. You can see what happened. That actually was a goal that counted. I got it at the very last second doing what I was doing with the Darrigan yooyuball, which was I was facing south on the screen basically if we do directions that way. I was facing south, but because the Darrigan Yu goes in a direction that you're not facing, it went straight into the goal. So that was kind of a funny one. But we're going to restart the game. I will never send a score that low. That's just a personal preference. You have a limited number of games to play each day. They actually lowered the limit this year. It used to be 35 per day, it is 29 now. We don't know if they're going to lower it farther later down the line. 29 is a really random number to me. I feel like they didn't mean to do that, or somebody's favorite number is 29. Either way, it just seems so random to me. But we will try again and hopefully get some better yooyuballs, but that's just something that you have to contend with. It took about 2 hours straight for me last night to just get 24 games in. We're also dealing with CAPTCHA errors this year, so that's a huge frustration is you'll get a really good score and then it will CAPTCHA error out and it won't send that score. So that's just something you have to be prepared for. Um, I'm going for All-Star this year, which is the highest rank you can get. Well, there's double and triple all star, but that's a whole other thing. But that's the rank I'm looking for, so that's why I'm taking this like really seriously. But if you don't care, if you just want like a cute little trophy that says, "Hey, I participated," like you don't have to go for like a really high rank. You can just play a couple games a day and just get a couple things in, a couple scores in. You don't have to stress out about it. Yes, it's good to like help your team win, but you don't have to do all of that. So, um, but just to put into perspective, it took it took about 2 hours. Maybe if I was doing all of them, it would be about 3 hours to get all of my scores with my score limit. I will explain scoring in a minute, but I've rambled long enough. So let's do another game real quick. So I always kind of click around and we got a normal one, so this should be, well, easy enough. There we go. That's my usual start. And then, oh, we got the exploder guy, but it's not too hard. You don't have to treat this one any different. And there we go, got a goal. Now this fairy one, this one is kind of hard. So I wanted to explain things, but let me just do it real quick. Okay, so that is the easiest way to get a goal. Obviously, I'm not getting the goal right now because it keeps bouncing off the wall. But you line yourself up in the center, go max strength, and let it go when you're about here on the field. It is hard to do when, there we go, when everybody's swarming you because they can take the yooyuball out of your hands. So that's a little difficult. But if you get really good at that, you can do that the second it starts. A lot of people really enjoy getting fairy UUs for that reason. But my personal opinion is going diagonal like that, like I just did, is my favorite way of doing it. And so I like to get the normals, the fires, and the ice ones, the snow ones. That's what. So yeah, I will just play like this and I will explain scoring if I get a good enough score, which I was hoping I would, but then I kind of messed that up. Oop, I'm getting caught. Okay, come on. There we go. Oof. Okay, we got a dare again. Not great. Not great. I hate when this happens right before I have my like submittable score. Here we go. So again, I was doing that thing where I was going by the side and releasing it and just hoping that it would go in the direction it needed to go. And that time the goalie caught it. They know what they're doing. They know what I'm doing now. Oh, there's an ice power up on the field, I think. I haven't been using any power ups. Let me just show you guys. Dink, everybody's ice now. We don't have enough time to score another goal, I don't think. No, dang it. But this is great because look at that. I got 7. So if I'm 7-0, I'm going to send my score. That is my lower limit. Everybody can have a different limit. Um, a lot of people go with 5. Some people, when they're newbies, they go with 3. But I've always done 5 and then I've done 7. I really wanted to get to a skill level where I could do 10 as my limit, but I tried that one day last year and it drove me insane. So 7 is my limit. I'm going to go ahead and send the score and pray and hope. Yes. Okay. It didn't give me a CAPTCHA error, so that sent. What I do as well is I keep a little spreadsheet. So it's right here. Uh, it does all my math for me to see my average for the day. And I scroll down. I put in my score, 7. And I put in the date. And it tells me my total for the day and the amount that I have played. So I don't get confused and play more games than I need to. Another thing when it comes to scoring is my minimum is I need to be 7 higher. I need to be at a +7, which means if the team is at 0 and I'm at 7, I'm at a +7. But if the other team is at 1 and I am at 7, I'm only at a +6. I will link the Jelly Neo guide, and honestly, I think Sunny Neo has a guide for this too. I could be wrong, but if they do, that will also be in the description if it's easier for you to understand the concepts once it's been written out for you. I will show you. Okay, funny enough, I actually just looked at both the Jelly Neo and the Sunny Neo game guides, neither of them went into scoring this way, but this is how our team does it for our our scoreboards every day. So if you're Haunted Woods, this is super relevant to you. If you're not Haunted Woods, it's maybe slightly less relevant, but it's still how I personally play the game. So it is your goals minus the other team's goals equals the goals that quote unquote count, basically. Um, so if a player had a 10 to 2 game, they would post +8. That is how we do our scoring. It might be different on your team's boards. So if you have a guild or something like the official Haunted Woods devotees, um, that might be the way that you guys do it. It might not be, but that is the way that I keep track of my scores. So I will play one last game on camera with you guys, but I think I have covered pretty much all of the basics, I would say. I don't think I got to cover all of the power ups because they just haven't been appearing. Um, but we did get a big goal again. If you score fast enough with this one, you can get up to 3 goals with that still in effect. So it's really good to grab, even if you see it on the field after you score a goal, you can kind of scoot one of your players over it and just grab it when you can. And then, oh, they got me. Okay, oh, it didn't last long enough. Okay, we got to be a little more precise. Eep. Ugh, there we go. Took a little bit of focus, but I got it in the end. Yeah, we're not getting very many power ups today. I was getting a ton of power ups. Yes, no. I think the first day there were like, I felt like I was getting ice power ups all over the board. And now we haven't. But yeah, okay, here we go. I'll just show you guys. So we got a different power up as well, but we got that ice one and it just made everybody freeze so we could score a free goal. I do usually try to save those for if I have a difficult yooyuball because it's just they last on the field as long as one of your other teammates don't run over it. So if I was oh, oh goodness gravy. And I accidentally ran over it. So I'll just use it. There's another one on the field, so it's fine. And gently put another goal in there. Okay. And honestly, I'm just going to take it and take the free goal because I didn't have enough time. So I took it. I don't know if that one counted. Yes, it did count. Excellent. So I got an 11 this time. Okay, yay, it's sent. So this video is running a little bit long. I think I'm going to do a part 2 for all of these other Altador Cup games. I'm hoping I can post it on the same day so that you guys can get all of the info as quick as possible. Either way, though, it will be linked in the video description below. I hope this was helpful and that it has maybe just given you a little bit more confidence to try to participate in the Altador Cup this year. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!